Go. So we should each start by saying his name 3 times, and that way, or no, 6 times. We say his name 6 times, and that way each of us has a Beetlejuice.
So we have two of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, are you ready?
I'm scared.
All right, we're gonna say it 6 times. All right.
Okay.
Beetlejuice, 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 Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Wait, no, that's 12 times altogether, isn't that? So there's gonna be two for each of us.
And I'll never have that recipe again.
Every time a joke starts to not click, you just scream that, okay? That'll be like the hook that they use in on like old Broadway or whatever, like vaudeville.
Oh yeah, MacArthur Park. Yeah.
So, do you want to explain the concept of this episode of this special episode?
Yes. Okay. So, since we neither of us grew up with the movie Beetlejuice, we watched it a couple of years ago. I saw it a few months before I signed it to Paul. And I think we both really liked it.
Yeah.
But we started doing horrible Beetlejuice impersonations, and he kind of became a staple of this podcast. So when we saw a sequel was coming out, we thought we should go see it and then force ourselves to review it for exactly 1 hour, no matter if it's good or bad or mid.
Yeah, because usually our show is three movies.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend the entire hour talking about Beetlejuice.
Yes.
And in honor of that, I've spent actual money buying this shirt with this fucking like weird pervert guy on it, and I also bought a Wicked Red. So the clerk at Walmart probably thought I was gonna like kill myself or something.
You were gonna go online and talk about how cool the Joker is.
There's an alternate timeline somewhere out there where I'm not happily married, and I think that Beetlejuice is a cool guy.
He did nothing wrong.
That's literally so not true.
Oh yeah,
like I'm uncomfortable with this man on my shirt. He's not a good man.
He's not. No, we don't condone the actions of Beetlejuice, but he is an entertaining character.
Yes, he is. He's like some kind of crackhead sex pervert with godlike powers.
We get a little bit of his origin in this movie, but we'll get into that.
Yep. All right, it's 8:00. Let's begin actually talking about the movie.
Okay, so we should start off with, I actually don't have the screenwriters pulled up. There were like 4, right?
I don't know, man. I didn't come here ready to talk about that.
Okay, well, it was directed by Tim Burton, I know that. Mm-hmm. And there were 4 names on the screenwriter credit.
Yeah.
Shoot. I want to give everyone their credit.
J.J. Abrams, James Gunn,
and
Quentin Tarantino.
Okay, screenplay was by Alfred Goh and Miles Miller, and the story was by them and Seth Grahame Smith.
Okay. Cool.
And Tim Burton directed it.
Now that we've got that out of the way, what expectations did you have coming into this movie?
So, I thought it was going to be like a not horrible, not that good, sort of mid, like, follow-up to an 80s movie cash grab, like we've already seen. Yeah. Like the new Indiana Jones, which I personally really liked because my experience watching it was good, but I don't think I'd be able to get an hour of content reviewing it.
Next time, we have to do this next time we find a really bad movie that we think there's nothing to say about, too.
Yeah, that was the original joke, right? We thought it was just going to be...
This movie turned out to be better than we expected.
Right? It, did just enough, fan service for the old stuff while being its own thing and having, new, cool visuals and jokes and all that.
So my expectation going into this movie was... yes, I thought it was going to be like a shitty cash grab that was just about the nostalgia of the first movie.
Yeah.
And B, I thought the only real changes they were going to make was that Beetlejuice would be more of like an anti-hero because he's a popular character. And I thought he was going to be still perverted, but like gayer, like
Kind of like
Deadpool.
what they did in the musical.
Yeah, like what they did in the musical.
Yeah.
Oh, I can help you guys, but you gotta stick a wiener in my ass, or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
that's my Beetlejuice impression.
Hey,
Oh, I can help you guys, but you gotta stick a wiener in my ass.
where the fellas at? Ha!
I feel like
Um,
yours is too energized.
yeah.
Like yours sounds kind of like a cool guy.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe they'd do what they did in the musical and make him anti-hero, gayer, like you said. But Tim Burton explicitly said he liked Beetlejuice being like a static, sort of one-note guy who doesn't change.
See, I love that because there's a temptation when you have like a major antihero or like an evil protagonist to like slowly veer them into being good. But it's fun
Yeah,
if you just like move the other characters around them so that they're in a position of like being a protagonist, you know?
they have to kind of help him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, those were our expectations.
Yep.
Briefly describing the plot of the movie and spoilers from here on out. We're not doing spoiler free. Like you can't talk about this movie without them. So
Maybe next time.
Lydia's dad, who is not played by a sex pervert this time, dies,
He's played by
and
some claymation.
yeah, claymation, and then like a guy with no head.
Yeah.
Um,
They cut
but
the
yeah,
head off of the real sex pervert and used his body as the actor, I'm guessing.
yes, that's absolutely what happened. Um, but yeah, they Lydia runs a show. She has a daughter now who's estranged from her and lives at a boarding school, and
And is
is
like an
upset.
anti-goth.
Yeah, yeah, and she's like she's the Gen Z protester who doesn't like all of this. Her mom's Gen X, like, oh, I'm a goth, I'm an individualist.
I saw it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I saw it as like almost the divide between Gen Z and like millennials.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't know how old she is, but
I mean, she's probably older than that, but that was the vibe they were giving. It's just like,
yeah,
Mom, stop talking about Harry Potter.
yeah. Basically, her mom was a Harry Potter mom, and she's protesting at college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her dad was like an activist, so but he's died, and they also
Yep.
divorced before he died. There's surprisingly a lot of family lore in
The
this,
family lore was weirdly the most complicated part of the movie.
right? The afterlife, it's just like, yeah, it's an annoying waiting room where you sometimes get your soul sucked by a sexy demon lady.
Yeah,
But
they were talking. They were talking to. Lydia was talking to her mom about Beetlejuice, and I just like had to do like a double take, be like, wait, does she know who that is? Wait, who is this woman?
that was the mom.
Yeah, for a second I thought this was a different mom than the mom in the first movie. That there had been another divorce off screen.
No, same lady.
Yeah, she forgot
Uh,
Kevin.
Kevin. Oh yeah.
Do you get it?
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
that's the
joke.
same actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's doing all that while also seeing visions of Beetlejuice because he's Freddy Krueger now, apparently.
Yeah, he's Freddy Krueger now.
And
Middle
they
management.
all have to get together. And Astrid, her daughter, ends up meeting this nice boy in a treehouse who turns out to be a ghost, which I actually did not see coming.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought
It
it was just going to be like give her a cute little side love story,
Yeah,
but
because the ghosts. I mean, in the first movie, we had what the Mailers or whatever,
Maitland's,
the
yeah,
Maitlands, who were like nice ghosts that bonded with the like alienated child.
right.
Um,
Um,
I also just want to say you have cut out your work for yourself in planning to summarize this film because the plot is nonsense and bogus and barely a part of the movie.
there are so many different threads in it, and half of them don't fucking matter.
Most
And
of
it's
them
all
don't matter.
entertaining. Yeah, anyway,
Like,
Lydia
and that
has
was
to
how
make
the first movie was too. Like,
yeah.
I came
It
into it like,
was
oh yeah, Beetlejuice, we're gonna see this zombie man have shenanigans, and it takes so long for him to show up.
yeah, like I kept thinking like if I were to streamline this movie, I would keep Dolores as like the ticking clock for Beetlejuice, cut out the dad dying, cut out the fiance, and just have it be about Lydia and her daughter and the demon ghost guy and Dolores. But then I was like, then it wouldn't be Beetlejuice.
Yeah, there would be too little going on. I feel
Yeah.
like instead of
I
too much
love
going on,
Willem Dafoe as he was an actor who played a cop who's now an afterlife cop.
which
And he he gives some exposition, so he has some point in the movie, but he mostly does nothing.
well, okay, yeah, this skips me ahead to point four on my list of pondering questions, which is who put Willem Dafoe in charge? Like, where does his authority come from?
He
He's
played
just
a
some
cop on
actor.
TV.
He's some actor who's like, I'm going to be the police of the dead, and it like
I think
worked.
I think the idea is that the afterlife is like a nonsense bureaucracy that is not managed well.
Yeah, but like, I don't even know if he legally has any of that authority. He just seems like some guy who showed up and decided to be a cop.
Um, Danny DeVito jump scare.
Danny DeVito jump scare. Danny DeVito possibly racist. Drinks cleaning fluid. Experiences the second death.
Yeah, like the deader than dead death.
He's super dead, and arguably the only one who came even close to deserving that horrible, horrible fate.
Like he was rude, but like come on.
He did say "damn foreigners."
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
don't think
having
everybody who has a little bit of ingrained racism needs to experience the second
also I think
death.
his comment was like racist against the newly dead.
I thought it was because the guy was from like another country.
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah, that was the vibe
That
that I
part was
got.
funny too. We like focus on this graffiti artist for a little bit just because he's new to the afterlife, so that's kind of our transition in, and then we don't really visit him
And
again.
then we pivot straight to a very long scene of a woman putting herself back together.
Oh yeah, what was the song that was playing?
I didn't recognize it, but it played for a long time.
It was cool, and she was very attractive. It was like Corpse Bride but evil.
Corpse Bride but evil. Yeah, I guess so. She sucks people's souls like in Mortal Kombat.
When she keep on sucking. Um, but yeah, she kills Bob, who that he didn't deserve that.
Justice for Bob. I know that's
Just
already trending, but just like literally, he did not.
treated like a joke, but he's like this nice little shrunken head ghost guy who gets like deader than dead.
He experiences the second death. He just gets literally killed so bad. Like they had a whole gag of like, oh, he can't talk because his mouth is stitched together because he's
Hmm.
a racist caricature of voodoo shrunken heads and stuff like that. But then when he does get his mouth open, he doesn't say anything. He just screams and dies. They could have given him a funny voice or something.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why there was dead air. I was texting you constantly about
Yeah,
this.
you were texting me, and I was like, Dylan, we have to talk about Beetlejuice for a solid hour.
Yeah.
Save all your stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You have an outline. So what's another point?
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, was there anything else we needed to say about Bob first?
Rest in peace, but also bring him back. Like I was kind of hoping that she'd be defeated and the soul she sucked would like reappear or something.
That would be logical. Also, all of those other shrunken head guys, did they go back? Are they still running around?
I think Willem Dafoe might have rounded them up.
Aesthetically, that was my favorite part of the movie. was
Oh,
when
and
a
they
whole
were
bunch
just
of shrunken
hanging
head
out.
guys run out, and start running around the town. It was very the Super Mario Brothers movie,
Oh yeah,
the '90s '80s one.
yeah. Oh, I was going to get into, so as much as Beetlejuice is a static character, I do think there's some interesting stuff about his backstory and how he relates that to the situation with Lydia and her daughter. Because it's revealed in this movie that Beetlejuice was a grave robber during the Black Plague,
Right.
and this beautiful woman comes up and is apparently into him. He marries her, but then it turns out she's a soul sucker, not a demon yet, but like a witch or whatever. And she poisons him, but before the poison can kill him, he hacks her to pieces. That's where he gets the ring from the first movie.
Right, right.
Yeah. So I think, as immoral as he has sort of a line at, or a personal grudge against false paramours and people who like lie. So
He does also
Jeremy,
state that his soul was already lost or something when he was a grave robber.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
um,
he makes some implication that he was already deeply fucked up at that point.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm not saying he was ever a good guy, but I'm saying that I think that's where his line is of like, yeah, I'll make a contract where you have to marry me for me to help you. But he fulfills his end of the bargain. He never like says he's going to do anything he's not.
And for better or worse, he means it when he tries to marry people.
Yeah. So he the best line in the movie was, what was it? I believe it's Dostoevsky who said, "Later, fucker." Their
Okay,
one.
so which brings me to the fact Beetlejuice sent somebody to hell and can send people to hell. Hell exists, and Beetlejuice can put people there.
I thought he could only do it because he got himself into that office.
So anyone who sits in that booth can send people to hell.
Oh, hmm. I'm not sure. Honestly, hell was probably waiting on the kid anyway.
But it's just he just turned to crank.
Later,
There was
fucker.
there was so much like death and loss. Like what I was literally thinking about like during the end of this movie was like they're gonna need so much time to cope with all of the things that just happened. Like, okay, like Lydia's like boyfriend, husband, whatever he was, guy. Yeah, he was a huge jerk. But
Yeah.
not only that, she had a wedding, it got canceled, and then he died.
And it was canceled because she'd been with this guy who was lying to her the whole time. So you would think there'd be a little more like, yeah, some grief.
Yeah, so he's dead. He's super dead. Her mom is dead now.
Yeah.
They're still grieving her father, who is dead. Um, what is her name? The daughter,
Astrid?
Astrid. Astrid had her first crush and first kiss with a psychopath ghost who she saw go to hell. Oh,
Just,
and Lydia's like stalker groomer guy like almost married her.
and forced everybody to sing one of the weirdest songs ever written.
It's a pretty weird song.
Yeah.
I do like they visualized it by having a cake and then having it get rained on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the visuals there were. I was just in awe during that whole scene.
It was probably the best scene. My favorite scene is when the shrunken head guys all run out, but that was probably the best scene.
I liked whenever Lydia. I wish there was a little more of this. Lydia and Beetlejuice not so much doing the weird stalker plot, but in like the buddy cop comedy routine where they're like kind of bickering and like, okay, we got to go over. Do you know what you're doing? I
It
also love
kind of
how she's
just like
like,
the first. Yeah, what
hmm?
were you gonna say?
I love how she's, before he comes back, she's like, horrified of him. As soon as he shows up, it's more just like, shut up and help me. Like,
Just like the first movie, like nothing is really happening long enough. I would say, like the plot jumps around so much. Like, I mean, okay, the pacing of both of these movies is really strange. That's the biggest thing. Like,
yeah,
most things happen, and you're just like, I guess that might as well happen. It doesn't really have the sort of regular film structure, and that some people might like that, some people might not.
yeah. I think it works here. It's like a lot of things that on paper, I'd say that sounds stupid. Executed, it's great.
I liked it, but I would be lying if I said both movies didn't make me a little bit restless and disoriented with their pacing. That's a me thing. Um,
Hmm.
but in this particular one, I was like, we're spending so much time with family drama that has nothing to do with ghosts.
And the Maitlands get like one reference. They found a loophole. They were able to go.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Onto the Soul Train, apparently.
Yeah, there's a soul train, and it's like exactly what you think.
Yeah.
It's the soul train.
So everybody wants to go on the Soul Train, right? That's why it's like a party?
Yeah, I think like once they die, but it looks like the soul train's stopping in both heaven and hell.
Wait, hell was mentioned?
It said on you see like the stops listed, and one of them is the fiery depths or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, but you can go there by just Beetlejuice turning a crank. Can
yeah,
he
I
send
guess.
people to heaven?
Wow, did you accept Jesus as your savior? No, Beetlejuice just sent me here.
Have you accepted the Lord? All right, get the fuck up there.
You accepted the Lord Jesus into your heart. Beetlejuice is the loose cannon youth pastor. No, don't let him anywhere near the youth.
Let's not explore that at all. this man has this man has Kendrick Lamar writing songs about him at this point.
A minor.
They really could have had him be explicitly attracted to her as an adult woman.
Yeah, you kept bringing up the photo on his desk is like her as a teenager, and that's like,
Yeah, and as soon as he sees it, like it shows up, we see that photo, and he's like, he says something about like love and romance, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
He was
oh.
like, yeah, these long distance relationships, huh?
And by the end, it's clear he wants to be with her explicitly.
Yeah. Which if they had avoided putting the teenage version's picture on the desk, it might not have been as creepy. It'd still be creepy.
I guess they're just putting it all out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. He also made her have a baby.
Yeah, I hated that scene. I did not want that scene to have happened. That's like my biggest that shouldn't have happened.
It's like it was like 10 times more morbid and disturbing than anything else in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in like he's doing a mock couples counseling. Her belly grows with child. It falls out and it's like a little puppet Chucky looking Beetlejuice baby juice,
Baby juice.
and there's blood everywhere and it's like why?
It's it's very Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I'm like that. I know the first one had like dark stuff, but that felt more like strict horror movie
I feel
moments.
like my guess is that I almost feel like they had a quota where they wanted to cross lines. You know, they wanted to do things that felt too uncomfortable for the movie that they were making and the audience that they had. And I kind of get that when you like really want to just like, oh, I want to put something horribly disturbing in here for the tone, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird. It was a weird direction to take things in,
The ending felt like a Nightmare on Elm Street ending.
very much. Which It runs counter to the first movie that had a very, very positive ending.
Yeah, it was the first one was like an everybody dances ending. It was a
Yeah, it
DreamWorks
was
thing.
literally that.
It was very feel good. Even Beetlejuice, he has a little moment where his head shrinks, but he's like, "This is a good look for me."
But they had to set up for the third movie, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Right. Do you think that's going to happen?
Probably. It was really successful, and they literally did the like Marvel like end teaser where like all the bad guys still out there.
I hope that the third okay, my prediction for the third movie, even though he said Beetlejuice is a static character, I think he'll do a heroic sacrifice while singing Wind Beneath My Wings.
That would be
I
good.
don't
I
know.
would like that.
I just had that idea today.
We should write
Let's
it.
write
Tim Burton,
Beetlejuice,
come at
Beetlejuice,
us.
Beetlejuice.
We're here to write Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. We
We're
can do
offering.
it, man. I'm drinking, but we could do it.
We can we could write Beetlejuice.
Warner Brothers, give us the rights. We
Do the
can write
sequel Yoko Ono Juice
Yoko. Wait, why are we putting Yoko Ono in it?
because he's the Beatles juice.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Um.
Dead silence.
What are we
Okay,
at?
okay,
We're
okay.
23 minutes. Okay.
God, this is. I thought this was going to be easy, actually, but it's
Yeah.
turning out kind of hard.
Okay. So, the claymation moment
The
where,
claymation moment, which they did in order to not have a sex pervert act in this film, probably.
yeah, apparently it was based on a dream that Tim Burton had where he survived a plane crash but then got eaten by a shark.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
thought I thought Astrid's dad was going to, I thought the twist with that was going to be that he actually just abandoned them.
Oh, I thought he was like lost in the jungle.
Because there was no body found, and the
Yeah.
mom didn't want to talk about it and hadn't seen his ghost. So I thought maybe it was like, oh, actually, he's just a shitty person, and that's why she doesn't talk about it.
And then it turns out Rory's not that bad. He just has bad social skills.
Yeah,
Or they're just both bad. Man,
yeah. I
Rory.
will say that felt a little bit like a plot band-aid. Like, oh, they found the dad,
Yeah.
but he was like, "Hey, you guys should accept each other." And they're like, "Okay," and that was it.
That did move pretty fast, that part.
Oh,
I.
big complaint that you might disagree with.
Hmm.
Very little payoff for Dolores.
Yeah.
They spent a long time hyping up a villain, and I'm like, and while I'm watching the movie, I'm like, what are they going to do? Have like a battle or something like that? But she just kind of shows up after a lot of scenes of her being menacing, and then gets killed by a big worm.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. I wish she could have done more.
which she'll be fine. Beetlejuice was killed by a big worm. She's not gone. The problem is not solved.
His problem's not solved.
No, his problem is not solved, and we care about his problems mostly.
He's the most deserving of our care, obviously.
Yes. I refuse to turn this into a Beetlejuice did nothing wrong joke. Beetlejuice did so much wrong.
No, he did. But it's funny to pretend he didn't. Oh, that's another thing. Okay. So Dolores, so all three of their paramours to some degree are soul suckers, basically. Rory in the most metaphorical sense. He's like an emotional vampire
Right,
who
right, right,
preys on vulnerable women.
right.
Jeremy wants to swap out Astrid's life for his.
Yes.
And Dolores literally is a soul sucker who tried to steal Beetlejuice's soul when he
So
was
it's
alive.
about toxicity.
Yeah, so all three of them to varying degrees are dealing with sort of that same thing. I just thought that was interesting.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Would you look at that? There might be structure in this movie.
juxtaposed to Charles and Delia's relationship, where yeah, she's kind of vain and head in the clouds, but it's obvious she loves him for who he is. You know, it
Yeah,
wasn't just for his money.
yeah,
Because and then we see like in their house, both her and Lydia are like defending all the bird stuff up because they're like Charles liked birds.
yeah,
So like they loved him for him, and that was sort of the model of a good relationship.
yeah. They love, and she loved him even when he was missing the whole like top half of his body.
I loved how she's like comparing her fang marks like it's equal.
It's really
Look
good.
what
That was
happened
a
to
really good
me.
gag.
Huh?
That was a really good gag.
Yeah. And I love the vibe that like she does that and she doesn't mean any harm by it, and he's just like, yeah, it's my wife.
Yeah, my wife. She's self-obsessed. She's a, a benevolent narcissist.
Basically. But like their relationship's really sweet. I liked seeing her and Lydia bond a little more.
Yeah,
Now that she's dealing with the same thing with her daughter.
yeah, that made sense.
It's like in the first movie, it's, you know, my dad has a new wife and she sucks, you know.
Mhm. We're halfway there.
Yes, okay.
Was the desert worm, was the sandworm claymation this time?
I think it looked like it.
It looked good. I think it's important to me that it's claymation.
I know they had a lot of animatronics and like practical effects in the afterlife again,
That's good.
which I
Yeah,
liked, yeah. I had the thought when the French guy like first shows up there, like this is just a really cool set.
yeah,
Um, all the different ways people die and how it shows up. I love Charles sitting next to the guy who got his bottom half bitten off.
that was good. Do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think that when you get to your destination on the Soul Train, your body is restored, or do you think Charles will go to heaven and I'll be missing the top half of his body?
I'm not sure. Maybe it depends on where you go.
It's possible. If you go to hell, you keep your damage. If you go to heaven, you
You get a new glorified body,
yeah, a new glorified body, and Jesus is there.
but only if you're Mormon.
Only if you're what?
Mormon.
If you accepted Joseph Smith in your heart,
You know, Jesus came to America.
preach to the Native Americans. We used to call them Indians.
But that's not politically correct anymore. Beetlejuice
The
is
white virus might try to cancel me for this.
Beetlejuice podcast. Beetlejuice podcast. Beetlejuice on a. Okay, so they say that the vaccination destroys the coronavirus. Well, let's see what happens. What it really does. And then he like injects it and does a weird cartoon wild take. See, you don't want to take that woo woo. Take my vaccine instead.
It's just his cum.
Yeah, it's
He just
his
wants you to
common
inject
syringe.
some of his cold dead cum into your body.
The wokes will tell you that this isn't going to work because they don't want you to be superheroes. They don't want you to become gods.
But listen, I gave it to a horse, and that horse got the biggest boner.
Oh yeah, one of they take MacArthur Park like the lyrics very literally. So the part where he gets to after all the loves of my life, that lyric, you see a flash of Dolores, of Lydia, and of a dog.
Yeah, he fucked a dog.
He fucked a dog. He was a dog was a love of his life, but apparently
They
not
should have put
as
something weird. They should have put something really bizarre in there, like Bill Clinton or something like that.
put in like Joe Biden.
Joe Biden's just putting it there.
Yeah.
One of his divorces.
Yeah, one of a few years there, I was involved with Sleepy Joe. It didn't work out. He wanted to go into politics. I was apparently bad for his image.
Grabs Wiener and twirls it around.
That was back when he was young and sexy, and you know why I like him young.
I'm not drunk enough for this.
Hey, Leah, he didn't cut ties with Lydia after she got over the age of 25, so he has one up on Leo. Topical, not even topical
You're so
anymore.
brave.
I'm
Do I have
reaching.
anything? Do I have anything else on this list here? Who are the Soul Train people?
I don't know if they worked there, if they just they lived at the station.
Are they like worshippers who like worship the Soul Train itself? Are they angels?
They might be like guardians, sort of around the Soul Train. You know how like in a lot of mythologies there are angels and guardians and demons who are neither here nor there. They just kind of this is their spot.
Valkyries or something. Yeah,
Yeah, they're there to guide you into Valhalla.
I think I headcanon that those are angels. I
Yeah.
think that makes the most sense.
Who do you think the conductor is? Is he Saint Peter? No. No, he's that guy who sails like the river Styx.
Oh, Chiron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's Chiron.
Yeah.
Probably Chiron.
Maybe they're people who are eventually going to get on the Soul Train, but right now they just kind of want to party.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the gate to heaven, I guess you just dance around. But I guess it's
They're
also
the
the gate to hell. So
they're the ditherers.
what?
They're the ditherers from Dante's Inferno.
Okay,
They're
okay. The third one could be Dante's Inferno.
the which one?
The third Beetlejuice movie could be about Dante's Inferno.
Oh, like he guides her through the
Through hell, yeah.
levels.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
Dylan, we still got 23 minutes.
Okay. Um, Beetlejuice is apparently a sex symbol. I'm finding out. He was like
You didn't know that
the
already? Just by
he
looking
was
at him?
like the original "Hear Me Out," I guess.
That makes sense.
Um,
Does Beetlejuice have charisma?
does he have Riz? In universe, I don't think so because
Well,
everybody's repulsed.
he bagged Dolores.
He bagged Dolores because she was looking for an easy soul to take.
But you don't think there was any romance there?
I think
I
he
got the
probably.
vibe that he was the soul she wanted to take.
Ooh, that's juicy. She does like hunt him down
I mean,
obsessively.
that could be because he murdered her.
Yeah, but there is like this romantic undertone when she finds him, is like you are mine.
Yeah, because she was supposed to get immortality by consuming his soul or something.
Oh, right, right.
Is what they said.
Maybe he actually had the purest of all souls at some point. I'm not going to entertain that.
Why does he have all of these powers? Because in the first movie, they imply he the vibe that I got was that he was something separate from the dead, that he's like a demon. But
Well, in the first movie they hint that he was a living person once.
yeah, they do that.
He I know his like one kind of quiet sincere moment is when Lydia says the thing like I want out and he just kind of goes, "Why?" Um I think most people thought it was a suicide until this movie, which I guess it technically is, which is why he got stuck in like middle management.
Kind of a murder suicide.
Yeah. Well, he was the one who technically drank the poison, but
Yeah,
and the afterlife in this world is very like bureaucratic, by the book in the most inconvenient way.
yeah, pretty much.
he's the runaway, I think, assistant to one of the higher ups, right, in the first movie. That old
Maybe
lady.
I actually don't remember.
Oh, okay. So he's kind of the Satan archetype
Yeah,
in a way. Yeah. He also
he's
makes deals with people.
and he does send people to hell.
Apparently. As Dostoevsky said later, fucker, sounds like a line that should be a nose chuckle, but Keaton delivers it so well, I just keep thinking about it.
Michael Keaton is fantastic at acting as a weird, creepy pervert who you want to watch be a weird, creepy pervert, and that takes some doing.
Yeah.
Especially because he was a great Batman too. He's got
Yeah.
range.
He has range. Yeah, I was telling you earlier, I saw an interview with Winona Ryder where she said she's like, this is gonna sound bad, but I think I wanted Beetlejuice and Lydia to end up together. And I think it was mainly just because she liked working with Keaton. But she said that she liked the idea of them being like a bickering married couple, which, like I said, I wouldn't really want the married couple, but I like the buddy cop dynamic that they briefly have.
Maybe in the third movie. Maybe in Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's the one where he gets his redemption arc. Probably not.
Where he gets
He gets a redemption arc in the musical, but that's a different continuity. Where he's less creepy gas station pervert and more annoying theater kid.
It is a far, far greater thing that I do now than I've ever done before.
You're
You would get that.
invisible when you're me. He's one
I
of those
can't,
characters. Hmm?
I can't wait for Beetlejuice's dramatic sacrifice to kill Thanos. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, I need you to distract Kang.
He was written out. Like your dad. Probably shouldn't be making light of serious sex crimes, but like,
That's what the
yeah,
movie's about, though.
huh?
That's what the movie's about, though.
Yeah. Wait, why
What
would
was
he
this
want to
movie
be?
rated? Was this PG-13? Was this R?
I think this was 13 because they did the 113 fuck and they did another but they censored it.
Wasn't the first one R?
No, the first one was PG-13.
I
I
thought he
think.
said fuck a lot in the first one, but I guess I'm
I think
remembering.
no. I think he had one PG-13 fuck in that movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm gonna look it up. Beetlejuice rating. Wait, this might have been before 13 was a thing.
Uh, 13 was
It's
invented with Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think.
oh okay. PG.
So it might have been before that, yeah.
Raiders of no Beetlejuice is 88. Raiders was before that.
Oh, okay. I don't know how time works.
Yeah, so it's a PG movie that had an F bomb. I think this one was 13.
We need to talk about Beetlejuice. Let's see. Is there anything that I haven't mentioned here on my list? No, I've said Beetlejuice can send people to hell at least 8 times. Um,
If you cross it.
I think I've spoken on all of my points.
I said my main stuff about whatever depth the character has, which isn't much and doesn't justify anything. It's just
No,
interesting.
it really doesn't. Is he Spanish? He was speaking Spanish.
I thought that was Italian.
Oh, well, maybe I'm just ignorant.
For a moment, I thought, because it was such a long sequence, for a moment, I thought the theater I was in switched languages on me. Because, some theaters around here do like multilingual rooms or whatever, Texas. Um, so I thought like the guy at the projector messed something up, but then I'm like, no, that's just this whole part.
The one scene that walked the line the most between being ingenious and being annoyingly like nostalgia pandery was the funeral where they sang Deo.
I feel like on rewatch that's going to have a diminishing return.
It will,
My,
but it was funny, and
my
because
first time watching it in the theater, I'm pretty sure I annoyed everybody there because nobody else was like audibly laughing. I was like cackling. Daylight come and me won't go home.
it's so
Like
funny.
children's choir being like super proper chamber choir or whatever.
I also love that his gravestone was a shark fin.
Was a what?
It was shaped like a shark fin.
Oh yeah.
Really, not since the Minion funeral in Minions 2: Rise of Gru, where they sing "You can't always get what you want."
I'm surprised they didn't work Shake Senora in there.
I'm glad they didn't. Like,
That might have been overkill.
there was just, I would say, for my taste, there was just like an inch too much pandering. But they definitely were more restrained than they could have been. Like, I
Yeah,
think
they're
beating the villains by making a worm fall on them again was a little bit on the nose.
that felt like they couldn't think of anything else.
I mean, that's what it felt like in the first movie too. To be fair,
Yeah, yeah, and they did set it up again, but yeah, I've seen I'm browsing like Twitter and Tumblr just to see what people think, and there are people thinking that like Dolores and Rory should become like a power villain couple.
okay, sure,
Since
why
you know
not?
they're both dying, so they're both going to like the afterlife or whatever, right?
Yeah, they can meet up. They can hang out.
I heart
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice,
Dolores.
Beetlejuice.
I want to. If I had the time and money, I would have gotten an I Heart Dolores shirt for this.
I just happened to remember that this was at Walmart for like $8.
Oh man, I now that I'm looking at it, I can see your Beetlejuice like the right way. Now I'm worried that it's gonna flip on me here.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We don't understand technology. We're old.
We don't understand Beetlejuice World. We don't understand anything world. Do Paul and Dylan have Riz?
Tell us in the comments below. Don't. You'll hurt my feelings.
Tell me that I do, because I know that I do.
Beetlejuice. To answer your earlier question, Beetlejuice has outside of universe Riz, where he's a successfully popular, funny character that everybody wants to go see. In universe, most characters can't stand him.
So he's like Deadpool.
Yeah, people in the universe really don't like Deadpool, do they?
Yeah, it's a recurring thing that people hate Deadpool in the universe of Deadpool.
Deadpool isn't as much of a creep though.
No, well, it depends on the
I mean,
iteration, but yeah.
yeah, I mean he's pervy, but he's not like violating people's consent. And
No,
you know,
he's not a gas station creep who wants to grab women's butts and stuff like that.
it's getting on.
Which, props to them, they kept him a gas station freak who wants to grab women's butts and didn't make
Yeah,
him too woke.
they're gonna wokeify Beetlejuice. They're gonna make him local juice.
Local juice, and he's got rainbow colored hair.
What are your pronouns?
What are your pronouns? I do them all.
Any all.
Make him lame and gay.
Hold on, it is very hot in here, and I'm tired of wearing this fucking. Okay, there we go. I'm free.
Take it off.
Okay.
Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. We're not talking about Beetlejuice.
Right, right. Oh
Do you think? Okay, so clearly you can have sex in the next life.
no. Yeah.
So their bodies work well enough to do that. So if you just happen to be a guy who died by getting your like wiener bit off by like a killer whale or something, you just be screwed.
Well, you could be screwed. I don't know if you can screw.
Yeah.
Well, you
Have
can
you?
in some ways.
Oh no! Someone left my cake out.
What?
Singing MacArthur Park every time we have dead air.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone left my cake out in the rain.
I,
After all the loves of my life.
so it took place on Halloween. That was cool. That was good for the vibes. I'm surprised they didn't bring it out closer to Halloween.
Yeah, it feels like a Halloween movie.
It feels like what Disney did with the Haunted Mansion movie.
Oh, not releasing in the right moment.
Yes, they released it like midsummer.
I don't understand some of the choices studios are making lately, but that's like being an armchair quarterback. So
I don't know. Disney decided to announce that that they're walking back any gay characters because Lightyear didn't do well. So
that wasn't the reason that didn't do well. I mean, maybe if it was, then the people don't deserve a good movie. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not a good movie. The problem with Lightyear was that it was not a good movie. We're not talking about Beetlejuice. Oh
Oh no.
no!
Um.
I really thought we'd have enough ammo.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
the
there's
shrunken
a lot. There's a lot going on. There's Justice for Bob.
Justice for Bob.
There's
The shrunken head guys look like the Goombas from the Mario movie.
me wanting to yell "shut up" every time Rory talked.
Yeah, he was definitely they got what they were going for.
Yeah. Which is interesting because a lot of times when movies try to make like the annoying, like you're supposed to hate them and want them to get their comeuppance character, I'm normally like, they're not that bad. Like I want to defend them.
Yeah,
They got it just right with Rory
yeah,
somehow, where
they made
he
him super
wasn't so
annoying.
over the top evil that you were just like, I can't take this seriously. But there also wasn't anything that sympathetic, and it was just like, yeah. And when she punched him, I was like, good.
They literally killed him. Like this man was a tool, and he died for it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe that's overkill, but then I'm like, he is kind of a predator.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he goes to grief counseling places to pick up women and lies about having had a dead fiance.
That's true. And also, dying in this universe isn't. I mean, you go to the spook the other setting basically.
Yeah, that's another thing that made me not as like, did he deserve that? Because in this world, dying's just like an inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's going to the DMV.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um, some may say is a fate worse than death, but you know, your mileage may vary. Mileage, because
it does seem
car.
like people were getting through the line a lot faster in this movie because it was convenient for the plot. Like Charles made his way to the Soul Train.
Maybe well they said so the vibe I got from the line they found a loophole was there was some event that could have possibly been its own movie in another world where like the actors stayed the same age or whatever. Like Lydia and the Maitlands had this adventure where they found a loophole and went through the like, well, do we want to go or do we want to stay here with you? And eventually parted ways. And maybe that involved getting the afterlife to kind of expedite things. I'm probably thinking harder about this than the screenwriters did,
That's what
but
this is for. That's what this entire episode is for. So yeah, we need to propose the midquel to Tim Burton.
it should be a graphic novel so that they don't have to worry about like actors and all that.
Or a cartoon,
Oh yeah.
animated movie, like an animated full length R rated midquel.
Wait,
We'll
R
call it
rated?
we'll call it Beetlejuice Beetle.
Beetlejuice doesn't appear except in the end credits.
Yeah.
He has an after credit scene where he's like I don't know, meeting up with some other weird guys to start the Weird Guys cinematic universe.
So we call the movie Beetlejuice Beetle, and Beetlejuice is not in it.
No, it should be called like, I don't know, maybe call it Ghost House because that was the working title for the original movie.
But no, we need the name. We need the brand recognition to sell it.
A Beetlejuice story.
A Beetlejuice story.
Well,
Ghost House, a Beetlejuice story.
I wrote a book that took place in your world and wrote a Kingdom's Disdain story, but Cardinal doesn't show up.
Yeah, that's true. But the series isn't called Cardinal, and it isn't a series that's based on just how horny and perverted Cardinal is.
I guess like Brunak's story does fit into the idea of the Kingdom's Disdain, but we're talking about Beetlejuice.
How do we have Beetlejuice without having Beetlejuice? Is my question actually.
I don't think you can, which is why I think there was
Beetlejuice clone, Beetlejuice robot.
she thinks, well, she's been having dreams about him, so maybe like there are little spurts of Beetlejuice showing up.
Right, because she has psychic powers. She creates like a mind Beetlejuice that helps them out sometimes.
Maybe in the next movie, it turns out that Astrid having baby juice wasn't an illusion, and she has to raise baby juice.
That's very Son of the Mask energy there.
Yeah. I've never seen The Mask, but I saw Son of the Mask when I was a kid because
of course you haven't seen The Mask and you've seen Son of the Mask.
Because Shrek was sold out. I was gonna go with my grandparents.
It's like you grew up with Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Yeah. I was gonna see Shrek with my grandparents, and they were like, "That's sold out. Let's go to this instead." And it was Son of the Mask, and that was how I found out who Loki was years before the MCU.
So fuck, marry, kill.
Beetlejuice. Wait, cartoon Beetlejuice, movie Beetlejuice, musical Beetlejuice.
Well, I mean, wait. Actually, bring it back. Okay, I don't know cartoon Beetlejuice that well, but I think that the right answer to this is probably kill movie Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
fuck, he's the one. Beetlejuice, marry cartoon Beetlejuice, right?
Probably. I haven't seen the cartoon either. I hear in the cartoon he's more like
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's like a chaotic. He's like a con artist, but he's like not creepy.
He's not an evil sex pervert diva.
I might marry musical Beetlejuice just because he's a theater kid and we could talk about a lot.
I love his voice.
But yeah, kill movie Beetlejuice.
Kill movie Beetlejuice.
And he'll just fucking come back.
Suck him to death.
Suck him to death.
Only the suck can kill him.
Mary Dolores, it's worth it.
So Bob experienced a second death. And that guy working at the dry cleaner experienced a second death. They didn't deserve it nearly as much as Danny DeVito, who was debatably a racist and dry cleaning fluids.
Who also didn't deserve that. I in my opinion.
No, he deserved it. He deserved to have his soul extinguished.
When he drank the cleaning fluids, I was like, Frank? Because it was like a very Always Sunny moment.
See, I was like, he's doing Slimer.
But yeah, no, it's funny because a lot of the deaths in this movie did feel like, yeah, it's comeuppance, but those deaths really were just like, no, fuck her. She hurt these innocent people.
She hurt these innocent people, and they're gone forever for all of eternity.
Yeah, their souls are destroyed. I mean, maybe she can be destroyed and they can come back. I don't know. That could be a sequel hook. They should do what the Star Wars fans did before the Disney sequels and have people write like authorized novels that go way more into the lore than the original screenwriters ever intended.
Tim Burton, come at us. We can do it.
And then after Disney buys it, they retcon all of it, and then a bunch of nerds online get really pissed because now there are minorities in it.
Now they're a minority because we're gonna put a bunch of black and gay people into
Yeah, make it lame, make it gay.
it.
No, I mean, honestly though, this movie was pretty diverse. That was cool.
Yeah, I liked it,
Um,
despite the criticisms that Tim Burton has gotten over the past.
it sounds like he's been at various points difficult to work with and has an ego. I don't know, maybe that's tempered with age. It seems like the people who do stuff with him now like seem to like him.
We've got
I
three
mean,
minutes left.
he what?
We've got 3 minutes.
Oh, nice. We're doing it.
So how would you rate this movie?
I've thought about this. This is I say 8 a lot, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. This might be an 8.5 because there were some parts, some pacing where I was on the fence and I was like this is kind of dumb, but then oh, what was the part I was texting you about it? There was a part where like I rolled my eyes but I did it in like a affectionate way.
I don't remember.
That describes a lot of this movie, but I there was this specific moment. I oh, Soul Train. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Soul Train. I liked the
Yeah,
Soul
cuz
Train.
it's
I think
like
the Soul Train made sense. There were angels there.
yeah, it's like a soul train because it takes your soul, but then it's also, the classical like it's soul train sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like that's so corny, but I kind of like it,
Okay, so fuck Mary Kill, Beetlejuice. Oh, I forgot to rate it. 7.5.
Okay. Or 10
Beetlejuice.
points off or 1 point off, yeah.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. Rory. The mom.
The mom,
The mom.
Delia.
Yeah, that one.
Marry her because even though she's kind of a narcissist, I feel like she's the most capable of actual love. Ah, fuck. Maybe fuck Beetlejuice because like I gotta know, but also he's the more dangerous one. So it's probably better for the universe if I kill him.
See, here's what I'm thinking. I can marry Beetlejuice and not fuck him. Marry Beetlejuice, fuck Delia, kill Rory.
Okay.
Beetlejuice might be a very committed partner for all we know. Maybe no one's given him the chance.
It looks like it. He's very romantic.
Yes.
Again, not condoning, getting with a girl you've known since she was 15 in a weird way like that.
We made
And
it!
also, oh,
On
we're at
that,
an hour?
we did.
Yes! Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. He's gone now. We never have to talk about this fucking movie again.
And I'm trying to remember the lyrics to that damn song.
I just remember someone left my kick out in the rain.
After all the loves in my life. I don't know what a good place to end that on is, but
We should just end this abruptly now because we did it.
yes, we did.
Challenge complete. Suck it.